Hi there, Brian here. Welcome back to the Cashflow Desk. Today we're talking about building a finance team from scratch. Not the glamorous stuff like equity raises or M&A. The practical question of when you actually need to hire finance people and how to do it without breaking the bank or hiring the wrong folks. If you're running a growing business and wondering whether it's time to move beyond spreadsheets and part-time bookkeepers, this one's for you. So when do you actually need a finance team? The clearest sign is when financial tasks are eating up too much of your time or your existing team's bandwidth. If the CEO is spending 10 hours a week on invoicing and cash flow forecasting, that's a problem. Another signal is complexity. Once you hit multiple revenue streams, different customer payment terms, or inventory management, basic bookkeeping isn't enough anymore. Scale matters too. Most businesses start thinking about dedicated finance help somewhere between $1 to $3 million in annual revenue. Not because there's a magic number, but because that's when cash flow gets complex enough to need real attention. And here's a big one. If you're planning to raise capital or considering an exit in the next 18 months, you need clean financials and someone who can speak investor language. That's not something you want to figure out under pressure. Once you have that first person in place, they need to tackle 3 things right away. Clean up your books. This means getting your chart of accounts organized, reconciling everything properly, and making sure your financial statements actually reflect reality. It's not exciting work, but it's essential. Build reliable reporting. You need monthly financials that come out consistently and on time, cash flow forecasting that helps you plan ahead, basic KPIs that tell you how the business is performing, and establish processes. How do invoices get processed? When do financial reports get delivered? What approvals are needed for different types of spending? These systems prevent chaos later when you're moving faster. This foundation work usually takes 3 to 6 months, depending on how messy things were to start with. Don't rush it. A solid foundation makes everything else easier. Your second finance hire usually happens when you hit one of 2 situations. Either your first person is maxed out and you need more capacity, or you need to add specialization. Maybe you need someone focused on accounts payable and vendor management, while your first hire handles reporting and analysis. For most businesses, this happens somewhere between $5 to $10 million in revenue. But it's more about complexity than pure size. A business with lots of transactions, multiple locations, or complex pricing might need a second person sooner. The key is not to hire too early. 2 part-time finance people are usually less effective than 1 person who's fully engaged and owns the function. When you do hire that second person, think about complementary skills. If your first hire is strong on analysis but weak on operations, hire someone who loves process and detail work. Let's talk about what not to do, because these mistakes are expensive. Don't hire based on credentials alone. A CPA with Big 4 experience might look impressive, but if they've never worked at a growing company, they might not understand your needs. Don't underhire to save money. A part-time person who can't keep up creates more problems than they solve. It's better to wait until you can afford the right person full-time. And don't skip the cultural fit. Finance people work closely with everyone in the business. Someone who can't communicate with your sales team or explain numbers to non-finance people won't be effective, no matter how skilled they are. Another big one, don't assume you need a CFO right away. Most businesses under $20 million don't need C-level finance leadership. A strong manager or controller usually makes more sense. Here's how to set your finance team up for success. Give them the tools they need. That might mean upgrading from QuickBooks to something more robust, or investing in smart expense management software that integrates with your accounting system. One way to save massive time and avoid manual headaches is by using software and corporate cards that handle the heavy lifting for you. Tools like Ramp combine business credit cards with built-in expense management, automated receipt matching, and real-time spend controls. Instead of chasing down receipts or digging through spreadsheets, finance gets accurate data instantly, freeing up hours every week. This kind of self-driving finance doesn't just cut admin work, it also gives you clearer visibility into spend, faster reporting, and tighter cash control. All critical as your team grows. Set clear expectations about reporting and deadlines. Monthly closes should happen by a specific date. Cash flow forecasts should be updated weekly. KPI reports should go out to the leadership team on schedule. And make sure they're connected to the business strategy. Finance people are most effective when they understand where the company is headed and can help plan the path to get there. The goal isn't just accurate books, it's financial insights that help you make better decisions. Building a finance team is like building any other part of your business. Start with what you need most, hire for fit as much as skills, and invest in the foundation before you worry about the fancy stuff. If this was helpful, hit like and subscribe. Drop a comment if you want us to dive deeper into any part of the finance hiring process. Thanks for watching. I'm Brian, and I'll see you in the next one.